Hello again, class 704. All right. We just never stop progressing. More and more, more and more. You're getting better and better with your English. You're progressing. All right, let's continue where we left off yesterday. And where did we leave off yesterday? Where did we leave off? Leave off? We left off with the translation book, page 286, number 15. Voz pasiva de se han tomado varias decisiones. In English, varias decisiones han sido tomadas, han sido hechas. Several decisions have been made. Several decisions have been made. Yeah, and who made the decisions? It doesn't matter who made the decisions. The only thing that matters is that several decisions have been made. That's very impersonal. I want to know the person. No, several decisions have been made. No ha llovido últimamente. It hasn't rained lately. We need rain. Rain is gold from the sky for Spain. The rain in Spain is mainly in the plain. Not true. The center of Spain needs more rain. Maybe we should reduce the altitude of the picos de Europa. And then the borrasca that comes from it will come in. Because you can be, you can be in Oviedo, in Asturias, and it's raining cats and dogs. It's a dia de perros, como decís. It's just terrible. Gray, rain. You get your car and you drive up to the Pajares, to the border in León. And whoa, splendid, beautiful weather, blue sky in León, La Robla, to the capital. And it's just completely different. The climate in the north and the climate in Castile y León. So we want to change the climate. We want more rain in the center of Spain. Rima. We want more rain in the center of Spain. Well, that's afeitar la montaña. Bring it down. El naranjo de Bulnes, disappear, down. All right. And so then the weather will continue because it will not stop because of the mountains. You take the mountains and the cold fronts and the rainy weather will continue to the Guadarrama. And it'll stop, okay. So that's the only solution I know, Marta, to the rain in Spain is normally in the north. No ha llovido últimamente. It hasn't rained lately. Lately. No la he visto últimamente a ella. I haven't seen her lately. Seen her. I haven't seen her lately. Why haven't you seen her lately? I don't know. But every time I come here, I go to her office to say hello and she's not there. So I really don't know. I mean, I haven't seen her lately. I mean, have you? Have you seen her lately? You haven't. Well, does she still work here? You don't know. Okay, well, I wonder. I mean, I have her telephone number. I can call her. Or I can write an email. I think when I get home, I'm going to call her. I'm going to call her. No la he visto últimamente. I haven't seen her lately. No la he visto desde hace 2 meses. I haven't seen her for 2 months. I haven't seen her for 2 months. The last time I saw her was 2 months ago. It's been 2 months since I last saw her. It's been 2 months since I saw her. Han sido 2 meses desde que la vi por vez última. Yeah, it has been. Se dice mucho esta forma. It has been. It's been 2 months since I saw her. I haven't seen her for 2 months. I haven't seen her for 2 months. It's been 2 months since I saw her. ¿Qué ha estado ella haciendo? What's she been doing? What's she? Yeah. What has she? Dios mío, qué contracción. Un piano aquí. What has she been doing? ¿Qué está haciendo ella? Estos 2 meses. What has she been doing? Pero nadie lo dice así. What's she been doing? Si es él, what's he been doing? What have you been doing? What have you? What have you? What have you been doing? ¿Qué has estado haciendo tú? Últimamente. What have I been doing? What have we been doing? What have they been doing? What have they? What have? Decimos, what have? What has he? What's he? What's he been doing? What's she been doing? Lo que dice aquí. What has she been doing? Aquí dice what has. No hace una contracción. But native people, when we speak, what's she been doing? What's she been doing lately? I haven't seen her in 2 months. What's she been doing? What has she been doing? All right, no tengo ni idea. I have no idea. ¿Cuántas veces he dicho esta expresión? I have no idea. I hope you learn these expressions. My God, I repeat myself 40 times. Every 100 classes, I repeat myself 40 times. Repetition, bombardeo, bombardment. Bombardment is el bombardeo auditivo of the same expressions, the same structures again and again and again. Over and over and over again, over and over and over again, the same structures, over and over and over again, or again and again and again and again. No tengo ni idea. I have no idea. I haven't got a clue. I haven't got a clue. Voy a ponerme en contacto con ella. I'm going to contact her. La vas a contactar. Yes, I'm going to contact her. I'm going to get in touch. I'm going to get in contact. I'm going to get in touch with her. I'm going to contact her. Nunca podré leer todos esos libros. I'll never be able to read all those books. I'll never be able to read all these books. I'll never be able. Nunca podré. I will never be able to. I'll never be able to read those books. I'll never be able to read all those books. I don't have enough time. There are too many books to read. I don't have time to read so many books. I'll never be able to read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books. 7, those párrafos. 7 books. I'll never be able to read so many books. All right. And todavía me encuentro un poco cansado. I'm still a little tired. I'm still a little tired. Yeah. I was really tired yesterday. I was worn out, extenuated. But today I'm a little better, but I'm still a little tired. I'm still a little tired. All right. ¿Cómo te sentiste cuando te levantaste esta mañana? How did you feel when you got up this morning? I felt sleepy. How did you feel? Did you feel sleepy when you got up? Yeah. How did you feel when you got up this morning? All right. Tuve ganas de volver a la cama. I felt like going back to bed. How did you feel? Well, I felt like going back to bed, naturally. I felt like going back to bed. Vocabulary. 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 All right. Page 153, list number 29. Avergonzado, ashamed. You should be ashamed of yourself. You're still at an intermediate level of English after all these years. You should be ashamed of yourself. I remember once, I've told this story once before, maybe last year. I was in a company. This is 25 years ago. I was in a company giving level tests, pruebas de nivel de inglés para pruebitas, very small tests, just to check the level, to form groups in the company for English classes, group classes. And a girl came in, maybe 25 years old. 25, and she was shy. She didn't look at me. She was, hola. And I said, is your name? Inés. Inés Pérez. Okay, Inés Pérez. Okay, Inés. And she was nervous. And I said, so the level test was oral. And I wanted her to be calm. I wanted to calm her down. I said, well, Inés, do you speak English? No. Are you Spanish? See? She understood the question. Do you work in the accounting department? O sea, yo sabía que iba del departamento de contabilidad, lo sabía. Do you work in the accounting department? See? She was not looking at me. Are you from Madrid? See? I said, and finally I said, pero no me respondes en inglés. Yes, es que no sé inglés. I said, pero ¿has dado inglés alguna vez? Sí, 8 años en el colegio. I said, okay, all right. Vamos a quejarnos al ministerio, because this is 8 años lost. And she was a beginner. She was a beginner in oral English. Yes. And the questions I asked were very easy. Are you from Madrid? Do you work in the accounting department? Do you speak English? And I got angry. Not with her. I got angry with the educational system. All right, so, avergonzada. She was ashamed. Estaba avergonzada la chica. She was ashamed. Ashamed. La vergüenza es shame. Ahora bien, la expresión it's a shame es una lástima. No es una vergüenza. It's a shame. To be ashamed, deberías estar avergonzado. Se dice mucho en inglés eso. You should be ashamed of yourself. Shame on you. Shame on you. Vergüenza sobre ti, se dice en inglés. Shame on you. Hasta los políticos se lo dicen entre sí. Shame on you. Shame on you. Directrices, guidelines. Guía, líneas guía. Guidelines. Directrices, tiene sentido, líneas guía. The guidelines, de mente estrecha, narrow-minded, open-minded, closed-minded, broad-minded, narrow-minded. Negligencia, negligence, yeah, to neglect, to negligence. Why did you have the accident, the car accident? Negligence. I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't looking, I wasn't miraba al tendido. I was looking at a pretty girl and boom, negligence, pure negligence. All right. Pobreza, poverty, poor, poverty. What country in the world suffers the greatest degree of poverty? I don't know. The greatest degree of poverty. What's the poorest country in the world? I don't know. What's the richest country in the world? I think per capita, I think it's Luxembourg. Luxemburgo is the income per capita. The poorest, I have no idea. Maybe Mali. Maybe it's Niger in El Sahel. Niger, maybe Chad. But I don't know. Liberia, Guinea-Bissau. I don't know. Maybe it's a country in Africa. Or maybe Micronesia. Yeah, near Indonesia. But I don't think it's the poorest. Poverty. The poverty line. Do you live below the poverty line? Or do you live above the poverty line? And what's the poverty line? I don't know. $1,000 a year, $1,000 año, I think is the poverty line, but I don't know. Receta. Well, it depends. How do you say receta in English? Well, Richard, it depends. What do you mean it depends? Well, it depends. What does it depend on? What does it depend on? Well, the type of receta. Well, you have a receta de cocina para hacer una tortilla española. It's a receta. And your receta médica para medicamentos. Ah, is there a difference? Yes. Receta de cocina is a recipe. Escrito recipe. Es pronunciado recipe. I have a new recipe for huevos con morcilla. Oh, really? Yeah, a new recipe, yeah. Okay. Wow, I love that. That's Spanish technology. All right. It's a new recipe. Now, doctors is a prescription. Prescribe y prescripción. Prescription. The doctor gives you a prescription. You take the prescription to the pharmacy, and the pharmacist gives you the medicine, or the medication, or the medicine, or whatever. That's the recipe. In the United States, it's interesting because it's almost impossible to read the prescription of a doctor. It's almost impossible. Here as well. And you go to the pharmacy and you give it to the pharmacist. He has no trouble reading it. And he prepares it. And you have to sit down and wait for 5 minutes or 10 minutes sometimes in American pharmacies because it's magistral, you know? They make it. Here, no. Here it's despacho de cajitas with your prescription. And so the pharmacist usually doesn't prepare the recipe, the prescription. All right. But in the States, yes. In the States, yes. It's very, very different. The relationship doctor, patient, pharmacist is very, very different in the United States than in Spain. Very, very different. In Spain, the doctor gives you the prescription. You go to the pharmacy. The pharmacist gives you a little package with the pills or with the liquid or whatever there. And then you open it and you have prospecto. You have these instructions and description and instructions of everything. In the States, you go to the doctor. The doctor diagnoses the problem. The doctor writes a prescription. You take it to the pharmacy. The pharmacist reads the prescription, prepares it, and puts the capsules into a little plastic container, and then a little zip, and puts the dosage, dos días, until this, before lunch and before dinner. And that's all. For 7 days. Well, before lunch, one before dinner. Until you, and that's it. So there are no instructions. There's no description. The patient is in the dark. The doctor and the pharmacist work together, and the patient doesn't have any information. This is true. It's strange. I mean, if you live in Spain and you go and live in the United States, it's strange because you have no instructions, and so it's only between doctor and patient, between doctor and pharmacist. All right, receta médica es prescription. Y el verbo recetar is to prescribe medication, to prescribe medicine. All right. You know, it's interesting, my grandfather, my paternal grandfather, as you know, was a doctor. And he had a saying, tenía un dicho, esto es curioso, this is strange. He said, medicine is for prescribing, not for taking. And you say, well, what? Los medicamentos son para prescribirlos, no para tomarlos. So what do you mean? And he said, just seeing the patient, giving the patient a prescription, usually is the solution. And the patient, because many of the problems are psychosomatic. And when the patient sees that really the medication, it really doesn't matter. That it's a psychosomatic problem. It's a psychological question more than a physiological question. But that's what he said. He said, medicine is for prescribing, not for taking. And I'm sure that I have a few doctors who are watching me now. But you see, my grandfather worked for 45 years as a doctor in the country, in a rural area of Texas. And he was the only doctor. He did everything. And so he was a family doctor, a general practitioner, a GP, we say many times. And so he had to do everything. And he had to use psychology as well. And so then he knew that many ailments, many males, many ailments are psychosomatic, psychological. And he said, if I see them and I tell them not to worry, take these pills, yeah, and that's it. I remember a student I had, yeah, Montoro, no voy a decir el nombre de pila, Montoro. Montoro, I had him for about 1 year. He told me he had about 5 years or 10 years before, he had terrible stomach pains. Oh, my stomach, dolores estomacales, terrible stomach pains. And he went to this doctor, that doctor, he went everywhere. And finally, somebody recommended that he go to the mental hospital in Leganés. Leganés, to a doctor there. I said, a mental hospital? He said, no, go there. And he went there. And he saw the doctor in the mental hospital in Leganés. And the doctor gave him he opened the door, took out these white pills, pastillas blancas. Said, take one every morning before breakfast. You'll be okay. He took one, and in a question of 2 or 3 hours, it went away. And he took, for a period of 15 days maybe, or 20 days, he took the white pill. And he never had a problem. And after that, he never had a problem. He stopped taking it. He went back to the doctor. And the guy said, I need more pills. He said, no. He never had the problem again. And he asked the doctor, he said, well, what are these pills? What am I taking? He said, no, it's just don't worry. You'll be okay now. It was psychosomatic. Apparently, it was psychosomatic. All right. Whatever. Interesting story. It's como Dr. Galleta. You know Dr. Galleta? Okay. Dr. Cookie. Cookie is galleta en inglés americano. Los británicos dicen biscuit. Escrito biscuit, con Q en medio. No con C en medio, pero no, biscuit, como suena. Biscuit. In America, we say dog biscuit. Galleta de perro, sí, dog biscuit. But the British say biscuit for perros and for humans. Okay, we say cookie. However, the British say chocolate chip cookies. Not chocolate, and they also say el monstruo de galletas. They don't say the biscuit monster. They say the cookie monster. Okay, the cookie monster. But Dr. Galleta, Dr. Cookie, or Dr. Biscuit, I think in Talavera la Reina, había colas. And people came into his office, and they said the problem. They explained to the doctor the problem. And the doctor took a cookie and broke it in 2 halves. Said, here, you eat this half, I'll eat this half. And you go, you'll be okay. Don't worry anymore. And it worked for many people. So it was a psychological question. They said, Dr. Goyete we ate a cookie together. Now I feel much better. I feel much better. This is what we call faith healing. Los que sanan con la fe. You know, the faith healer. To heal, H-E-A-L. Suena igual que tacón o talón. Heal, pero es con E-A en medio. To heal is sanar, curar. And so a faith healer is a person who puts his hand on your head and says, you will be better. It's similar to Jesus of Nazareth with a faith healer. A healer. And I think Dr. Cookie was, no te suena, this was many years ago, in the 1960s, 1970s, Dr. Galleta. All right, recetas, prescription, crudo, no cocinados, raw. La ley, law. Quita la L, pones una R. Raw is crudo, raw. Materias crudas, o sea, materias primas, decimos raw materials. Raw meat. Steak tartare is made of raw meat. Raw. Requisitos, requirements. Requisite, también se puede decir requisites, Requirements. What are the requirements? Requerimientos. What are the requirements? The requirements. All right. Aproximadamente, roughly. Wow. A ojo de buen cubero. All right. Roughly. Rugosamente. Rough is áspero. Es algo áspero. The surface of my shirt. This is smooth. Rough. Rough también es turbulento. Aguas turbulentas. Rough water. Rough. Rough. But roughly means abulto. A ojo. Yes, approximately. There are roughly 47 million people in Spain. There are approximately 47 million people in Spain. Hecho 1,000 antes, I think. 47 million people in Spain. There are about 47 million people in Spain. There are around 47 million people in Spain. All right. There are many ways of saying approximately. But now approximately is not possible because I have to go. See you tomorrow.